I was stressed out when we were paying $15,000 a month. I can't imagine paying $100,000 a month just for a bigger team. I think last year we paid $330,000 in success fees to Zillow. We know the pain, we know what it's like. But the thing that everybody misses is, so Zillow.com, if you're familiar with the website, there is two different programs. If you're a real estate agent, there is Zillow Premier and there is Zillow Flex. There's not a lot of information out there on either one of these programs. Coming from a team that's closed hundreds of deals with each program, we're gonna unpack all the differences that you need to know right now.
So first off, comparing the cost, right? That's mostly what people want to talk about first, I would imagine, is what does it cost of each of these programs? So one is like a monthly pay-to-play sort of system, and the other one is you join kind of a relationship with Zillow Flex, and you become like a partner with Zillow.
Yeah, the Zillow Flex thing is invite only. This is you massively level up, you have a team versus Premier, where you just give them $100 or $1,000 or whatever the case may be, and you get leads.
So with Premier Agent, how it works is you send a monthly check over to Zillow or a monthly fee over to Zillow, and you get assigned like a zip code, and then some leads start to flow out to you here and there, pretty sporadic. You get a few, as much as you pay for, kind of a thing.
Yeah, there's a certain number that they allocate for you based off of that zip code, and you kind of know in advance, but it ends up being sometimes a little bit different.
Yeah, whereas with Flex, you are assigned to a coach and you're held to a bunch of metrics that you really have to adhere to, and they have high expectations of you. So it's really like a back and forth relationship mentoring sort of scenario.
Yeah, it's completely different worlds. So pay to play or actually enter into a relationship. When you enter into that relationship, there's expectations around it, there is weekly accountabilities. It is a completely different animal. I can honestly say that, knowing that we've worked both programs, and we're in Premier for years, and then have now been in Flex for a couple years now. And the Flex thing is just a different beast. Yeah, people always want to know about the lead quality. So is the lead quality different under Premier versus Flex? And I can tell you, we haven't really seen a big difference. It's still the same. You still have people that will inquire that are great, ready to go. You still have people that will inquire that, just want to go see the house, or sometimes don't even really care that they're looking at the property.
Yeah, I think in any lead generating pool, there's always like a group of people that are ready, willing, and able, and that's how we always measure it. And they've been looking for a while already. They're like in it to go do it now. And then there's people that you really have to coach through and nurture for quite some time. And then there's people that just like clicking on buttons and looking at pictures of houses. So you get all of that. But as far as comparing leads Zillow to non-Zillow, we really feel like Zillow leads are farther along in that process. But when you're comparing Premier to Flex, they're about the same.
Yeah, I mean, the intentionality is different, right? Like a lot of people who will inquire through Zillow have already been on Zillow's website for months. They've already been looking at properties before they click that button to connect with an agent. It is completely different than, say, generating a lead through pay-per-click or another source where they're a little bit more, they're not quite that far along in the process.
So who's a good fit for which program? I think the obvious answer is if you're a solo agent and you're not on a Flex team, you don't really have a lot of choices. So the best fit for you is to try it out with Premier Agent. And if you do a great job, if you get enough leads and you build a reputation through Zillow, you could be invited to the Flex program. But they're looking for teams. So that's the Flex thing, is if you're not a team, it's not going to be for you.
Yeah, Premier Agent is really getting your feet wet in the program. It's really just making an investment in your business and getting some actual leads coming in. Flex is more, can I actually perform, like you said, and be invited to something that's much, much bigger.
So to me, there's pros and cons to both programs. The pros and cons to Premier, I would say a pro is you can kind of work at your own pace. Like you get what you pay for, it's month to month. If you decide not to answer the phone, like you don't get any leads, you don't close any deals, like that's on you, right? Yeah. They're not gonna cut you off as long as you're paying your bill. Yeah. Whereas with Flex, they're really going to push you on your metrics and make sure you're meeting your goals, right? So if you want to be held accountable, I think that would be a pro to be on Flex.
Yeah, it's a level up program is what it is. So you're going to be invited, and your team, everybody is going to be accountable. Every little piece of the pipeline, meaning from the initial call to the meeting with the client to even after that, is all scrutinized. It's all coached to metrics. And so the other con would be, let's talk about, costs. There's pros and cons with each, an investment up front in Premier and then actually being able to retain the commission is a big deal. If you can go close a bunch of those deals and don't have a referral fee, because with Flex, there's going to be a referral fee that's going to vary. It's going to be from 40% back down to as little as, I believe it's 15%. It really depends upon the price of the property, and even those lower referral leads, meaning lower fee referrals. So let's say it's a 20% one. There isn't very many of those because it's all based off of the average sales price. And what you're going to find is most of them are going to fall under the 40% referral fee. And so that's a big, decision to make. Are you willing to compensate Zillow with 40% for the lead when you could be on Premier and know that you don't actually have to pay that success fee? They call it a success fee because you only pay it if you have success, right? All right, so you've heard it from us now. We're helping run the team. Let's talk to an actual agent in the field that's actually picking up all of these calls, as many as she can, and it's a pretty impressive track record, selling 30, 40 houses a year on this program. Her name's Alexis Moore. Let's bring her in and talk to her right now.
I have been on both sides of that coin versus, the Premier agent versus the Flex. I think that I get a lot more leads. I think that the leads are probably a little bit higher quality that come in through Flex, and they just come in at such a substantial pace. But with Flex, I was able to basically catapult my business at such an exponential rate. So the first year, I don't know a lot of agents, but there were a couple of us on the team that were able to do, about, 20 plus-ish deals, right in that range, right? That was the first year. And the second year we did 30 plus-ish, and this year I'm on track to do 40 to 50, right? So it's every year. And I don't know a lot of agents that are 3 years in that are doing 40 to 50 deals.
So I think for us, when we're taking into consideration, what is the long-term value of being a Flex team? Yes, there's a success fee to the tune of somewhere 30 to 40% on most of these transactions, but there must be an upside to it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. We're spending a lot of time investing into it. So for us, it's all about long-term repeat clients and referrals.
Yeah, statistically, we can prove without a shadow of the doubt that as much as it was painful to actually have a big spend on a monthly basis on Premier, I think at one point we were up to $16,000 a month versus Flex, where I think last year we paid $330,000 in success fees to Zillow. We know the pain. We know what it's like. But the thing that everybody misses is you don't just have one transaction out of this relationship, whether it's Premier or Flex. You end up with multiple transactions out of this, which nobody takes into account those numbers when they're trying to, slam Zillow about how it's too expensive or it doesn't make sense to do, or can it really help a new agent build their business? 1,000% yes. As Alexis attested to, is she's been able to grab leads and serve families and build a business with repeat transactions coming sometimes in the first year, definitely in the second year, but the third year, the floodgates open and you're able to get a lot of extra deals out of those relationships. So this is what we do. We take agents and we give them opportunity, and we ensure that they're going to close a ton of deals, a ton of extra deals. Instead of them being on their own and having no opportunity, having no legitimate lead source, and now you're off and running. Now you can actually get to the point where it's a career, where in year 2 and 3, you're selling a lot of houses that you wouldn't have sold otherwise. It may be double, it may be triple. Statistically for us, it's usually at least double. And people lose sight of that as an investment in a partnership with something like Zillow.
So I know for us, having been in this business a long time, we've seen agents fail several times as we've gone along. And what this Flex program has allowed us to do is take people into a predictable model of closings where we know if we hire somebody who does the A, B, and C of what we tell them to do, they're going to close 12, 15, 20 homes in their first year as long as they work. Where without that consistency of lead base, you can't really guarantee what they're going to do.
Yeah, that is everything for a new agent, to be able to come into something predictable without having to truly grind. I mean, we'll still work people on other lead sources and getting them to actually close additional deals on top of this program. And so now when you add the two together, you got a recipe to ensure that as long as you wake up every day and do the things that you've learned, that you can actually make it. You know, there's an 87% failure rate in real estate, which is astronomically high. And so knowing that it's that difficult, you actually need something to lean on like this.
So if you're a realtor and you're kind of thinking that a Flex team or Zillow leads in general sounds like a great idea, but you don't even have a budget for Premier Agent, you don't have $1,000 a month to be spending, I think the best solution would be to join a team that is already on a Flex program.
Yeah, I mean, that's really your only option at that point. Either pay for Premier and just start as little as you can and build yourself up, which takes a little bit of time, but just know that it does work. Just know that for everybody that you hear that will tell you it doesn't work, I can 100% tell you it's because they did not follow up correctly. They just didn't have success themselves, so they want to slam, the Zillow as a model. If you do work the leads correctly, you will close deals 100%. So those are your options. Pay a little money, become a premier agent and kind of build your portfolio, or just go find somebody that's already on Flex and see if you can partner up with them and join their team. And if you're somebody out there that's been running a team and you're on Premier and you think you want to join Flex, definitely reach out if you have questions, because we can tell you everything we've learned in the last couple of years running the actual Flex program. Everything entails, if you were to be invited, what that would look like, and then exactly what you're going to experience on a day-to-day basis. Be sure to check out the rest of the channel, because every week we're doing videos on what it's like to run a team. It is very difficult. So you need the tips, you need the secrets, and they're right here on this channel. So be sure to check it out.